The soft hum of the life support systems filled the small crew quarters aboard the Stellar Drift, a deep space research vessel drifting in the quiet void between stars. Dim blue emergency lights cast gentle shadows across the narrow bunk where Sergeant Marcus Hale lay, his breathing slow and even in the artificial night cycle. Across the narrow gap, in the other bunk, Lira'vel watched him. She always watched him when he slept. It had started as curiosity 3 months ago, when the two of them had been assigned as the only mixed-species night shift monitors. A human and a Vexari sharing such close quarters was rare, but the coalition had insisted on cultural integration. Lira'vel had expected distance, perhaps polite silence. Instead she had found Marcus, quiet, steady, with warm brown eyes and a laugh that made her mandibles click in unexpected delight. Tonight the ship was running on minimal power while the main engines cooled. The silence felt intimate, almost sacred. Lira'vel sat cross-legged on her bunk, her slender arms folded neatly in her lap, golden compound eyes fixed on the sleeping human. His face was relaxed in a way it never was during the day, brow smooth, the usual tension gone from his jaw. A faint scar traced his left cheekbone, a souvenir from some battle he never spoke about. She leaned closer, careful not to wake him. In the blue light his skin looked almost luminous. She wondered, not for the first time, what dreams moved behind those closed eyelids. Humans were so private about their inner worlds. Marcus stirred. His lips parted, and a low murmur escaped. "Stay, don't go into the dark. I've got you." Lira'vel's mandibles clicked softly in surprise. She had heard him talk in his sleep before, fragments, mostly, but tonight the words carried raw emotion. She waited, heart beating faster. "You're safe. Lyra. I won't let them take you." Her breath caught. He had said her name. She sat perfectly still, her arms now gripping the edge of her bunk. The human was dreaming about her. Protecting her. Even in sleep his voice held that same quiet strength she had come to rely on during long shifts and sudden emergencies. Marcus shifted again, brow furrowing. "No, the hull breach, get behind me. Lyra, run." A small, pained sound escaped him. His hand twitched as if reaching for a weapon that wasn't there. Lira'vel couldn't stay silent any longer. She reached across the narrow space and gently touched his shoulder with one delicate claw. "Marcus, it is only a dream. You are safe. We both are." His eyes fluttered open, confused for a moment, then focused on her face hovering above him. For a heartbeat neither of them moved. The blue light painted her carapace in soft sapphire hues, making her look almost ethereal. "You talk in your sleep," she said quietly, voice warm with something between amusement and tenderness. "You were calling my name. Telling me to stay safe." Marcus blinked, then a slow flush crept up his neck. He rubbed a hand over his face and sat up, the thin blanket pooling around his waist. "Sorry. I didn't mean to wake you." "You did not wake me," she replied, mandibles curving in the Vexari equivalent of a gentle smile. "I was already awake. I often am, when you sleep." He tilted his head, studying her in the dim light. Something in her tone made him pause. "You watch me sleep?" Lira'vel's smaller pair of arms fidgeted. She looked down for a moment, then met his eyes again with quiet honesty. "Yes. I watch you." It started as curiosity about human sleep patterns. "Your face changes so much when you dream. Sometimes you smile. Sometimes you look haunted. I find myself wanting to know what worlds you visit when your eyes are closed. And tonight. You spoke of protecting me. Even in your dreams." Marcus's breath caught. He swung his legs over the side of the bunk so they faced each other across the narrow aisle, knees almost touching. The ship's hum seemed louder in the sudden intimacy. "I guess I do," he admitted, voice rough with sleep and something deeper. Watch you, I mean. Not while you sleep. Vexary rest cycles are different, but during shifts. When you're focused on the star charts or humming those old songs from your homeworld. You get this little tilt to your head when you're thinking hard, and your mandibles click in this soft rhythm. It's calming. After everything I've seen out here, you make the dark feel less empty. Lira'vel's golden eyes shimmered. She reached out with one smaller claw and lightly touched the back of his hand. The contact was cool at first, then warm as her body heat bled through. You protect me even when you are unconscious. I watch over you when the ship is quiet. We are guarding each other without words. Is this what humans call friendship? Or is it something more? Marcus turned his hand palm up, letting her claw rest fully against it. His thumb brushed gently over the smooth edge of her carapace. I don't know what to call it anymore, Lyra. When we first started sharing this cabin I was nervous. Humans and Vexary, we're not supposed to get this close. Different biology, different cultures, different ways of feeling. But every shift, every emergency, every quiet night, I find myself looking for you first. Wanting to make sure you're okay. And apparently I talk about you in my sleep like some lovesick idiot. A soft clicking laugh escaped her. Not an idiot. A protector. In my culture, when someone speaks your name in their dreams, it means their spirit has already chosen you. Even if their waking mind has not caught up yet. The words hung between them like a fragile star. Marcus's heart hammered against his ribs. He had spent months convincing himself that the warmth he felt whenever she entered the room was just camaraderie, just the bond forged by shared danger and long shifts. But hearing her say it out loud cracked something open inside him. I watch you sleep because I'm afraid the dark will take you, he confessed, voice barely above a whisper. I've lost too many people out here. Friends. My old squad. I dream about the hull breaches, the fires, the times I wasn't fast enough. But when I dream about you, I get to be fast enough. I get to keep you safe. And it feels right. Lira'vel leaned closer, her larger arms coming up to frame his face without quite touching. Then let me tell you what I see when I watch you. I see a human who laughs at my terrible attempts to pronounce Earth jokes. Who stays awake an extra hour to help me recalibrate the sensors even though his own shift is over. Who sings softly under his breath when he thinks no one is listening, old songs about blue skies and green fields. I see someone who carries heavy things in his heart but still chooses kindness every single day. And when you sleep, your face softens, and I wish I could chase away whatever shadows chase you. Marcus swallowed hard. The narrow space between their bunks felt impossibly small and infinitely vast at the same time. Lyra. I don't know how this works. I'm just a soldier who talks in his sleep. You're a brilliant xenobiologist who could have any assignment in the fleet. Why me? Because you see me, she said simply. Not as a Vexary. Not as an experiment in cross-species cooperation. You see Lira'vel, who is afraid of loud noises after the last meteor storm, who misses the crystal plains of her homeworld, who feels safe when you are near. And I see Marcus, who is more than his scars and his rank. I see the man who would stand between me and the dark without hesitation, even in his dreams. A long silence stretched, filled only by the ship's gentle breathing and the distant pulse of the stars beyond the hull. Marcus lifted his free hand and carefully brushed a strand of her sensory filaments back from her face, the way he had seen Vexary do with loved ones. Lira'vel's eyes fluttered half-closed at the touch. I watch you sleep because I'm falling for you, he admitted, the words trembling but true. And it terrifies me. What if the coalition says it's against protocol? What if our biologies don't match? What if? She pressed one delicate claw to his lips, silencing him. Then we will face it together. Tonight you spoke my name in your sleep and told the darkness to stay away. That is enough for now. The rest, we will discover when the stars allow it. Marcus caught her claw gently and pressed a soft kiss to the smooth surface. Stay with me tonight. Not just watching. Actually stay. Talk to me until we both fall asleep. Tell me about the crystal plains. I'll tell you about the ocean on Earth. No more hiding in separate bunks pretending we're only crewmates. Lira'vel's mandibles curved into the brightest smile he had ever seen on her. She shifted from her bunk to his in one graceful motion, settling beside him with careful grace so her carapace wouldn't press too heavily against his human frame. Two of her arms draped lightly across his chest, the smaller pair found his hand and held it tight. Sleep, Marcus, she whispered, her voice a soothing click and hum. And if you dream of danger, I will be right here to pull you back. And if I grow afraid of the quiet, you will speak my name again and remind me I am safe. He wrapped one arm around her, feeling the strange, wonderful warmth of her body against his. For the first time in years the shadows in his mind felt smaller. Deal. But you have to promise not to laugh if I snore. I would never laugh at the sound of you breathing, she murmured, already beginning one of her soft homeworld lullabies. It is the most beautiful sound in the void. As the stellar drift continued its silent journey through the stars, two beings from different worlds lay side by side in the blue-lit dark, one human, one vexary, watching over each other in ways words could never fully capture. He talked in his sleep. She watched him sleep. And somewhere between those quiet truths, a bond had formed that no regulation, no difference in biology, and no vast emptiness of space could ever break. In the gentle rhythm of shared breathing and whispered stories, fear slowly gave way to something brighter than any star outside the hull. Hope. Trust. And the first tender threads of a love that had been growing, unnoticed, in the quiet hours when one watched and the other dreamed. 1.6s fast.